a glittering premiere at the Chicago Theater for Warner Brothers' I'll See You in My Dreams. A real dream has come true, for this benefit premiere launches a drive for a new hospital sponsored by the film star Danny Thomas, here arriving with his family. Years ago, Danny vowed he'd build a hospital if he ever became famous. $32,000 are subscribed, the first of $1 million Danny Thomas tells friends he'll raise for the St. Jude's Hospital of his dreams.
They said it couldn't be done. They said that it was a task which would break my heart. They said it was impossible. At this very moment, as I speak to you, in the city of Memphis, Tennessee, there is being constructed a hospital in the form of a star. There it is, in concrete, glass, and steel, to offer help to all the children of the world, regardless of race, creed, or economic status. You and I have vowed that we will do everything in our power, spiritually, physically, mentally, and financially, to bring about the defeat of these catastrophic diseases. We're going to begin with leukemia, and by God's grace, after defeating it, go on to other diseases. That little tiny building has led the world in advancements in pediatric science and clinical care, and now it's going to rise up. You will bring it to the fore through an organization called ALSAC. If I were to die tomorrow, I now know why I was born.
While we're sitting here making this video, there's a family that's walking through the front doors on a Friday afternoon, and they're at St. Jude. When we came to St. Jude, I asked the doctor, "Can you treat my child?" And he said, "No. We're going to cure him."
Man, that's a good video.
That's a great video.
Love it. Hey, Josh.
Hey, Gary. It's been a minute.
It has. We were talking before the show. It's like, when did we see each other last? Like, we saw each other in Memphis. That was the last time we actually even probably talked, was Memphis.
Yeah, and I don't
Well,
remember the last time that I've been on Geocache Talk either. I think. Do I dare say it's the last time? Oh, you know what? It was last year when I was promoting the comic book.
Yeah,
but I think it was Podcast of Hope was the last time I was on, which
could
is
have been
just a travesty because I have the green jacket. I think
I know
some of the most times that I've been a guest or guest hosted, but it's good to be back.
I'm glad. Yes. Yeah. Timing is tough sometimes on things, and but yeah, we thank you so much. We're gonna go through the schedule tonight. I've got another video we're gonna show in a little while. We're not gonna go too late tonight, but we want to go for a little bit. And we're going to kind of get things ready. We're only about 3 weeks away, which is amazing to think about how quick it, Podcast Hope shows up, because it's December 3rd. So,
Yes, it
once
rolls
you get-
around. It rolls
It
around
does.
quickly every
It's
year.
all-
And the exciting thing is that this year it's on Saturday. That's
yeah.
cool. And let's be real, geocachers. I don't know where, depending on where you live, it's getting. I live in the Great North, so it's getting a little colder up here. I'm just going to be real. The geocaching, it gets a slightly less. So I'm anticipating, a nice cold day to hunker down and watch Geocache Talk all day.
Yes. What's interesting, I went back and looked. I thought it'd be kind of fun to check this out. So it's in the show notes, so you could probably cheat because I sent you the notes. But if you haven't looked at it, I'm going to ask you some Podcast to Hope questions about Joshua the Geocaching Vlogger, if that's okay with you.
Oh, okay.
So, and if you want to play along at home too, in the chat room, or however you want to do it, if you want to guess along with Josh, this will be fun for next few minutes. So,
can I do one trivia question that's related?
Yes, go for it.
That's related to the video. I really love that video that we showed on the front end, because it features Danny Thomas, which,
yes,
I mean, Danny Thomas is the hero. It was so fun when I was in Memphis at Cache Fest this summer. Just I'm driving down the road. Oh, this is Danny Thomas Boulevard. Like he is the hero for founding St. Jude's.
Yeah.
But there's a special connection that Danny Thomas has to my favorite TV show.
Oh.
And do you know that connection? I'm wondering if the people in the chat know the connection of Danny Thomas and my favorite TV show.
I think I know what your favorite TV show is.
Okay. Do you know the connection?
Wow. I'm
wondering if anybody knows
the connection.
Yeah, it's really interesting. A lot of people don't know this. So I'll just let everybody know. So the Danny Thomas show. So if people don't know who Danny Thomas was.
I love Danny Thomas. Oh, look,
yeah.
Albedo guessed the Flying Nun. Now that's going way back. That's way back.
Yeah. Right.
And if you know what the Flying Nun movie or show was, you're old, like Josh.
That was Sally Fields, right?
It was a very young.
See, I'm pretty old. Houston, Texas, Dave, you're very close. You're right on. So the Danny Thomas show was a show that was in the late 50s.
Yep.
And there was a spin-off. There was an episode where Danny Thomas went to a little small town and met a sheriff. And that was actually the spin-off for one of the greatest TV shows of all time, the Andy Griffith Show.
Griffith Show.
So it's because of Danny Thomas that the Andy Griffith Show actually exists.
Wow. That was a wonderful show.
Yeah.
With
The
Gomer
Andy Griffith Show?
Barney and
nip it in the bud.
That's right. Get my one. I got one. He had one bullet.
I got one bullet. Yeah, bullet maintenance. That's a nice bullet right there. There you go. There's my impression for the evening.
That's good. Craig, you're gonna have to catch up on some. We'll get you some Me TV and let you catch up on some Andy Griffith. So, all right. Yeah. Very cool. So this will be our 7th year. Do you remember the first one that you were on?
I had to be on the first one, I imagine.
You were on the very first one. In fact,
I've been on all of them.
You've been on all of them. Yes. Yes.
7. That's awesome.
You mentioned about winter caching. That was you and Sydney were on during the winter caching topic section of the very first Podcast to Hope. 7 years. Well, yeah, come up 7 years ago. To 2016.
It makes sense that was what we were talking about, because she's from Buffalo and I'm from Minnesota, so we're
Yep.
very used to caching in the snow if we have to.
Exactly. So a little other trivia notes, and then we'll get into the schedule. Pardon me. So 2017, there was it was show 79. You were on that one. You were on with somebody else, and we won't say who, but we'll talk about who that is, which I had forgotten, but I think that's cool. So you were on that one. 2018, you were on again, but with 2018, that was the third annual Podcast of Hope.
Okay.
And you had, I think that was kind of your first guest, because we've always, for the past several years now, Joshua has done 2 hours, and he usually has different guests. And so that's what's come about more recently. And you had on, do you remember who you had on that time? A dude.
Oh boy, I remember. So I had Matt from Matt's Rad Show.
Yes, that was him. He was on the third end, and it just seemed like it was the last, a couple years ago, but it wasn't. He was on the third one.
I always pride myself too in bringing muggles on. That's what I love about the Podcast of Hope, is because we can deviate a little bit from geocaching. And I was like, I'm going to start bringing people that I have taken geocaching, like I've tried to convert, that are interesting. So Matt's great. Got to see Matt a few months ago. He's doing great. We haven't been on a video together much, but he's really into car videos now. If you go to his channel, it's all car, like classic cars.
Yeah. I like when he goes and does the sort of Atlas Obscura stuff where he shows up in these weird locations. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very geocaching, right? I mean,
it is
these interesting places that nobody knows about. So that's why I love his channel.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great. Then the fourth year was what we would consider kind of our big celebrity year, if you want to call it that. That was the year we had on Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs.
That was year 4.
Yeah, year 4.
That seems like last year.
I know, doesn't it? I know. And Jim O'Hare.
Wow, that was a big year.
Yeah, and you kind of hit the right moment for that, because we had no idea, just to pull the curtain back a little bit, we had no idea that Jim O'Hare would call in at all. We had no idea. Mike was scheduled. That was set. Jim O'Hare, I had sent him the link, and I said, hey, and we're taking a shot in the dark here, and there's Jesse. Let me get. Hey.
I got caught up. Sorry about that. I'm running late.
No, you're fine. We're talking about Jim O'Hare, because I sent him the link, and I said, I don't expect him to show up. I mean, I've been trying to get Keanu Reeves on Podcast Hope this year, and I'm not getting any response. Surprise.
It's not working out.
But hey, I shoot for the stars, man.
The worst they can say is no. That's the worst they can say.
Right. Absolutely. So we sent the link to Jim. I just sort of forgot about it. And then all of a sudden you were on, Cache Canada was on with us at the same time. And Jim O'Hare shows up out of nowhere. And so we got a few minutes to spend with Jim. And that was just, man, I was just geeked out unbelievably. And you had the weird connection of the fact that you met him recently. And so there was this wild connection thing. It was great.
It was bizarre. I met him 2 weeks randomly in Minneapolis prior to seeing him on the podcast. Yeah. And it's no surprise that he bopped on the show, because when I could tell when I met him in person, this guy's the real deal. He was just so kind. And no surprise that he would come on some obscure hobby podcast.
Yeah.
But it's unbelievable when we think about Mike Rowe. It's one thing that you had Mike Rowe on.
Yeah.
But he could have just came on and give you like 10 minutes. He gave you a whole hour.
Yeah.
A whole hour of his life. That kind of blows my mind.
I know. That's so great. And then last year we had the wild situation we had. Okay. That year, by the way, your guest was Cache Canada, and Jim O'Hare got on that one too.
Okay.
And then you had Pathfinder 33, and you had the Curious Kiwis were your other ones. So,
oh, nice. Great. I missed the Kiwis.
Yeah, good folk. So, podcast 2020 podcast was the fifth podcast is when we had you had on Mr. Back to the Future, Andy McFly, Strano, who rents his DeLorean out for
anything,
parties, whatever.
Not only that, but he rents other people's DeLoreans out too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, rentdelorean.com. If you're in Texas and you need a DeLorean, he's your guy. He'll find a guy that has a DeLorean.
Yeah, that is. And then that was cool. And then also you had on From the Ring, Action Trinity.
Yes, and
Stephanie Finocchio.
Gary, my dream came true at HQ celebration. She was working like a booth or something, like volunteering. And I said, I've met her before. I said, you've never drop kicked me before. And I want you to drop kick me in the face.
Yeah.
And I didn't drop kick her, but she allowed me to clothesline her.
That's
and
awesome.
I pinned her right in the middle of the event. People are like probably wondering what the heck is going on.
Yeah. Jesse and I got to see her. We were in Cisco, Texas, middle of nowhere, Texas. Well, near nowhere, just north of nowhere. And her husband came, and they were going to some race car racing. Not a
boat racing, or
what was it? It was something weird, wasn't it?
I mean,
it was some kind of adrenaline pumping race.
Yeah.
I mean, like, something crazy that all of us would consider crazy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, really odd. But we got to see her. But yeah, you're right. That was kind of a one of those weird times. So, all right. Okay. And then last year you had on Geocache.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's solid. She's a good interview.
Nobody's heard of her at all. She hasn't had anything to do with geocaching at all. Nothing at all.
Our favorite lackey. And then we had, of course, Rich with Komakino came on, and you guys talked about the comic book, which, if somebody doesn't have it
here,
geocachingcomic.com, go pick you up a copy of it.
The holidays are coming.
You got to get you a copy.
What a great gift it could be.
Absolutely. And I did get to sign this page, Joshua, at Cache Fest.
Oh, man.
I am the camel.
Man, we had a picture, Gary, of all the people that were
in
the book, and we missed you because what was happening is that people were so excited because I was there to sign the books, but then everybody wanted that page to get signed by Land Monkey and everybody that was, and all the contributors. It was really cool. We took a picture. So we missed you. We missed both of you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But let's be real. You guys had a busy summer.
Yeah, it's been a busy year.
A little bit.
Yeah. And but that was cool. All right.
Well, the 25th is coming soon. Let's be real. It's going to be here before you know it.
25th anniversary will be here soon. Yeah. That's what I would do. All righty. Let's get into it. All right, here we go, folks. So 4 p.m. hour, we're going to have on Chris Yule. He's a magician.
Yes. And a geocacher.
A geocacher. Yes.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
And also Canadian.
Yes, he is. Love our Canadian folks. There he is. Yeah, Canadians. What are you going to show?
I'll do some magic right now. Watch.
Do some magic. Here we go. Here we go.
Ready? Take this. Well, okay, hold on.
Do it again.
This is compelling. Take this thing and you just grab it. Wooden nickel. Whoa.
Oh, it's gone.
Where is it?
Gone. Where'd it
go?
My
computer.
Oh, how'd it get there?
You don't even need Chris on. I can do. Can I do that thing where your finger comes off?
let's have Chris on. Is that
Okay,
okay?
that's a good idea.
Let's stick with him. Yeah.
So Chris, I talked to Chris, and he has a gig that night, but we worked it out. So Chris is going to be the first hour, which is the 4 p.m. Central Standard Time hour, which is great because it's 2 p.m. in British Columbia where he lives. And so he'll have plenty of time to do the show and get ready to do his gig that night. So it all worked out. So we're going to have Chris. Chris did magic via Zoom during the pandemic. So he is, because some people are like, how's a magician going to do, but he's going to be great. He's done it before. He has a lot of tricks that can be done, over a Zoom, or in our case, StreamYard. So
I love this. This is so great because I've known Chris for years, but I've never seen his magic, and I've known he's a musician or a magician. So
yeah,
that'll be cool.
Yeah, something completely different. So that's
perfect
kind of
the podcast of hope.
That's kind of the theme for this year for Podcast Hope. Is there's some stuff you've seen. There's a lot of stuff that's new. So we kind of did a nice mix, I think. So all right, 5 o'clock hour. The 5 o'clock hour is going to be somebody near and dear to our hearts. Brian Roth, president and co-founder of Geocaching. I don't know about a special announcement. That's an old. Let me take that part out. There is no special announcement.
No, you've already put it up there. He has to do it now.
He has to do it now.
If he doesn't have a special announcement, he has to come up with one.
That's right.
So what'll be funny is, I'll have to ask Brian, make a special announcement. He's gonna be like, I don't have one, Gary. I don't know what you're asking. Brian's been on the last few years. Usually he's in the 11 o'clock hour because, again, he's in Pacific time, but he also has some family things going on that evening, family commitments, but he did not want to miss. So Brian was committed to being with us. He's like, I want to be on. When can I be on? That it will fit. And I thought, perfect. We'll put you in the 5 p.m. hour, which is 3 p.m. his time. And again, works out great for Brian. Mm-hmm. So that'll be great.
It's so cool because for good reason, geocaching.com, Geocaching HQ doesn't get behind any one particular charity, which makes sense because every charity would be coming at them. But I just think it's so awesome that he uses, I'm sure Saturday is not a work day for him. So he uses his own time to be a part of something that's really important. And I just have so much respect for him and just, the fact that he's been on several years now in a row.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
that's
pretty cool.
It's so, you said it all perfectly. So, all right. 6 p.m. This is really interesting. We've had on a former employee of St. Jude, that being Christy, his wife.
In there. Yeah.
Jesse's wife. Yeah. She's been on Podcast to Hope, but we're going to have somebody who's a current employee, actually pretty high up. Mm-hmm. She is the Chief Digital and Innovation Officer at St. Jude. Melanie Hannock is going to be on with us. Very excited that we're going to have a St. Jude, in this case, an officer, a Chief Digital and Innovation Officer. Melanie is going to be a very fascinating hour because here are some things to give you guys some idea about Melanie. Melanie has more than 20 years of experience as a marketing professional with significant consumer marketing and interactive gaming experience. In addition to St. Jude, she has worked on Disney, Atari, and Hasbro Interactive.
Wow.
And led marketing teams handling multi-million-dollar integrated campaigns. She has helped to position, build, and launch 45 plus interactive games and launch 80 plus downloadable games on multiple platforms and online for major brands: Disney, The Lion King, Pirates of the Caribbean, Aladdin, Kim Possible, Tonka, Thomas the Tank Engine. God, I love Thomas the Tank Engine. That was so great. Barney, the purple dinosaur.
Oh shoot, not Barney Fife.
No,
Barney
purple dinosaur.
Barney Fife the game. That'd be cool.
That's right. That'd be great. Nickelodeon, SpongeBob SquarePants, NSYNC, and Backyard Sports. While at Disney, Melanie was part of the team that managed internet incubation projects. It gets complicated. She's done a lot of cool stuff. Online subscription gaming products, created the business plan that led Disney into the downloadable gaming business. During her tenure at Atari, she managed the #1 kids gaming franchise, Backyard Sports, and helped to grow the sales over 400%. So,
wow, she's a big deal.
Yeah, she's legit.
She is legit, isn't she?
But the real question is has she gone geocaching?
Yeah, that's the big question.
And if not, can we convert her?
Can we convert?
We're gonna try.
Yeah, we'll try.
Yeah. So the little podcast of hope, Jesse, we got somebody on like Melanie Hannock. So
hey, whatever it takes. Whoever we can get on to help us, achieve our goal, right? That's what matters.
It's so cool about it. I don't even know her, but the fact that she has that resume, but she's using her talents for St. Jude and for good. Says a lot about who she is. So I'm
absolutely
excited for that interview.
Yeah, and we presented a request to have somebody from St. Jude, and she wanted to do it. So we had, who could say no? I mean, all right, let's see where we're at. We got 7, 8, 9, and 10. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let me just do one more, and then we'll do a quick video. So 7 p.m. is Portal Prov.
Ooh.
Portal Prov, for those that don't know, Portal Prov, I can't speak tonight. There we go. Portal Prov. Portal Prov transports audiences to a different genre-informed world of comedy. Like Star Trek, we'll beam you there. Want to go back in time? Hop in our DeLorean. One of Josh's favorite.
Yes.
I just sent you that thing too that I thought I said Joshua, so we're gonna have a lot of little squirrel moments. So I sent Joshua this meme this week, and it shows Darth Vader and then the person next. It's like a multiple screen slide. So and the next person goes no. Then they showed another shot of Darth Vader, and it's like, no, you're not getting it. The third one is Marty McFly in the hazmat outfit with the cassette recorder. He is Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan. There you go. Right, here you go.
There you go.
Perfection.
Yeah. Perfect.
I preferred the real Darth Vader. I said the real Darth Vader. There he is.
Perfection. From the planet Vulcan.
From the planet Vulcan. Oh, you gotta love that. So, Gary, this is this we're gonna get a whole improv troupe? Is this right?
Yes. So I talked to Bryce Reed. He is the creator and director of Portal Prov. He has a cast of about 12 Chicago, Second City people, improv. Yeah. And I said, Bryce, would you be willing to bring your troupe on and do an improv, a skit, as you will, a play? And Bryce is like, absolutely, anything for St. Jude. We're going to put on a great play for you. I talked about the timing and stuff. And so they're in their workshop now, hammering away, getting their set ready for St. Jude. And they're going to present to us a play, a skit, and it'll be wonderful to have them on. So
that's really cool. Is it going to be improvised or is it scripted? Like they're figuring it out?
I think what they do is that it's the way I've understand it is that it's a lot like if you saw Best in Show or any of the those movies, they have sort of kind of like we do tonight. We have some show notes.
Yeah.
But I think they have sort of a note, but they do improv. They run loose, but they have sort of a general idea of where they're going with a story.
Gotcha. That's really cool. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really unique. Perfect for the podcast of hope.
We're going from magician to improv. That's quite a switch.
Yes. So, but wait, there's more. Just hang on. There's more. But before that, I do want to show a video to remind us about St. Jude. So here we go.
I'm Hazel and I am 9 years old. I used my creativity to make some art. I have this one. It took me a while, and there is a big heart, some cool designs at the very bottom. We did it at the hospital, and it makes me feel happy that I finished.
Hazel is, just a free-flowing spirit. Every time she's doodling, she's writing, be magic, be kind, show bravery. It's sweet.
I said love. I just was doodling right there.
Hazel was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia at the beginning, and when we arrived at St. Jude, her body wasn't responding the way that it was supposed to right off the bat. So after more testing and because of the wonderful research from St. Jude, they were able to give her a target therapy that specifically targeted those cancer cells. So Hazel is proof that the research that they are doing is working.
You have to be creative with art. You have to use many colors and not just a gray crown. Like this one. It's the world of colors. We kind of made this. We used our hand and cut it out and we decorated it.
Sky's the limit. I want her to go and just see the world and enjoy it. St. Jude is everything. It's made our child whole and happy and smiling daily, and we are forever grateful.
Thank you.
There's Hazel.
I think the mom said it the best. St. Jude is everything. To a family that St. Jude has helped, there's nothing bigger or more important than that.
Yeah.
They've changed their family's life. They've helped them out, and you can't not want to help out a place like that.
No, absolutely. That's very true. For some folks that don't know, maybe I want to take a moment. We'll mention, we are raising funds to support St. Jude's life-saving mission of finding cures for children battling cancer and other life-threatening diseases. And the donations that we'll be doing for Podcast of Hope. Thanks to those donations and others, families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because all a family should worry about is helping their child live. Treatments, this is the part that I always love to mention as a real triumph. Treatments invented at St. Jude have helped push the overall childhood cancer survival rate from 20% is when Danny Thomas was forming St. Jude. We're now up to more than 80% since it opened more than 50 years ago. So I think that's tremendous.
That's amazing. It's hard to even imagine, your child getting something. There's a 20% survival rate.
Yeah, it's tremendous. All right. Let's get into the prime time hours.
Prime time. Look who arrived. He couldn't stand. Oh. He couldn't stand not being on the show.
Hey, buddy.
Goliath.
Goliath's been with you about a year now, hadn't he?
Yeah, he's 2 years old. He's been with me a little over a year, but he is becoming he was a horrible geodog, but he's getting way better. He's making
better.
more appearances on my videos.
Yes, I saw the one you saw. I saw the note. That was awesome. Yes.
All right, prime time and I'm on for the next 2 hours, and the pressure is way off, because we got 2 hours packed of a great topic and a great guest.
Yes. So Joshua will be welcoming his guest this year is Geocaching Katie, which Geocaching Katie was on. I apologize to Katie right now because I guess I just forgot because it's been a while, but she was on the second Podcast to Hope. So Katie was on that one as well. I think that's really cool. And so we're having Katie back, but this worked out perfect. Joshua, and I mentioned part one. We'll go ahead and mention that she'll be on for 2 hours. So Josh will be on to interview with Katie, part one and part two, and we're going to be talking about her exploits, her adventures with the Appalachian Trail.
She did it.
Spoiler alert.
She did it. She made it all the way to Maine.
Appalachian Trail, also known as the AT, extends almost 2,200 miles between Springer Mountain in Georgia and Mount, I'm going to mess it up, Katahdin.
Sounds good. That's good.
That's why Katie will be on. She'll get it straightened out for us in Maine and passing through 14 states. I'm pretty sure I watched every one of her videos.
Yeah.
That she did.
I'm gonna have to catch up because she did a lot. Good for her. Not only did she hike the Appalachian Trail, but she posted more than one video a week.
Yes.
And she edited it just on her phone.
Yes.
That's some serious multitasking there.
Yeah, and you guys had her on while she was on the trail. Wasn't she in the middle of the woods?
Yeah. Yeah.
She was.
I
she was literally by a campfire when she was broadcasting.
Yeah. But she wasn't even halfway at that point.
No. She was still pretty early on.
Yeah.
Yeah. She I sent her a note and I said, "Is there a chance we could have you on?" She goes, "Sure. I think I'll have signal by that Sunday, the week that we picked." Yeah. And she's like, I said, "Okay." And sure enough, she had a spot that she'd picked out. And there we go. Thank you, Sandra. Katahdin. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Yes, she will tell us about all everything she got to do. Some of her crazy 0 days, some of her Blue Blaze side trips. Blue is the side trails. White was the standard AT. I don't know if you saw some of this, Josh, but there was parts that were just miles of loose rock. And we're not talking about little stuff. I mean, you're climbing over boulders.
Yeah.
It's this isn't really a trail anymore. There'd be a little painted white on one of the giant boulder things. And you're like, oh my gosh. I mean, how does somebody pull that off? Yeah. But she did it.
Those videos just kind of broke my brain because I always imagined the AT was, and I'm sure people do this, that you're just you're out there in the wilderness the whole time. But some of her videos, one of her 0 days was I'm in New York. I'm in Manhattan. I'm just this isn't hiking the Appalachian Trail. But I'm no, it just kind of broke my brain. I was this is not what I imagined. But hey, she did it. Everybody needs a little break, right, from time to time. It's set. I mean, it's set. The thing that's so fascinating is that it's set up to take some 0 days and then recoup and go to Walmart. And I think in my brain I just pictured that you're always in the woods.
Yeah, me too. That was my complete thought too. But the AT really provides, in a sense, a way in that it's sort of designed, and there's times when, like I said, that you're all of a sudden you're in the middle of a little town.
Yeah.
And she tells you all the, we came into town to get food and grab a beer and do their laundry, or she talks about all, so we're gonna have all the questions in this chat room. Will also help us ask all the questions. How did you do it? What did you wish you had not taken? What did you wish that you had taken? I mean, there's 1,000 questions that will fit into 2 hours.
And the bottom line is like, it's just inspiring. I don't know. I'm jealous. I'm like, if I didn't have, if I could just quit my job and didn't have any family, it's just like this is the adventure that I would be going on. And it's just, it's so cool to live vicariously through her.
Yes. So we're very excited to have Katie.
Are jealous. Many of us are jealous of that adventure.
Oh, absolutely. Me too. All three of us are that way. Yep. We may get Fox on as well. She was a companion of Katie for part of the time. A lot of the ending, a lot of the second half of the trail, as it were, was that's her trail name. You have to come up with a trail name.
Yeah.
And so hers is Fox, not Fox, Fox, Focs, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere. That's Focs. So,
and there probably already is another Fox. I'm sure your trail name has to be unique. I'm sure there's somebody that keeps track of that somewhere.
You want it to be unique because there's some spots where you put your name. They have walls that you can sign, and of course she signed Cheeseball.
Yeah,
because that was hers, and she ate a whole giant jar of Cheeseball in one of her videos. So
I saw that episode.
Yeah.
So that is really cool. So yeah, we're excited to have Cheeseball on, and possibly Fox as well. We don't know. That's still a possibility, but Katie's locked in. She is ready to go. She's really excited about being Joshua's guest this year. So
yeah, I won't have to talk much.
No,
but I will. I promise. I will watch the rest of the videos, and I'll come up with a lot of good questions.
Oh yeah, you always do. It's always good. All right, we took a left turn in Magic, and then we took a sharp right turn in Portal Prov with the improvs. We're gonna take another sharp left turn. We're swerving all over the road this time, but we're going to do something really, really out of the blue. We're going to have on the Moon Traveling podcast hosts, Matthew Schwartz and Aaron Sprinkle. And people are like, what is going on here?
Are we going to space, Gary?
No.
Okay.
So let me tell you a little bit. Let me tell you the story of how we were able to get Matt and Aaron. So I reached out to John Graham. John is our Hollywood friend who has done movies, and he helped with the first Avengers movie. He was one of the crew for that. So John's been around. John's produced and directed several movies. And so I asked him, I said, do you have anybody that you think would work, on who'd be interested in being with us? And he goes, I've got Matt Schwartz, and Matt did the music for a couple of his movies. And I thought, oh, that'd be cool. So I started looking, who is Matthew Schwartz? So I looked him up, and I noticed when I looked him up, I also saw Aaron Sprinkle. Well, Aaron Sprinkle is a very famous producer. Aaron has produced. I'll start with Aaron. I'll tell you about Matt. So Aaron Sprinkle is a songwriter, producer. He has produced. Get this amount right here, Josh. Hold. Are you sitting down? I think you are. Yes. Aaron has produced 6 million albums sales. It's a lot of albums. He has produced gold records. He has won Dove Awards because he did a lot in the Christian music area, genre, if you want to say. Done a lot of indie music as well. Aaron has been involved with Soundstripe is one of his latest projects. And again, go check out, you can go to his Wikipedia and check out Aaron Sprinkle, but he has produced a lot of albums and been in several bands and a lot of fascinating work that he has done. My kids are geeked beyond belief. In fact, they have requested that they could be on. So I'm going to, little nepotism. I've had the twins on before, but they want to be on so they can ask Aaron questions, because one of the bands that Aaron has produced pretty much every album for is Demon Hunter. And Demon Hunter is one of the kids' favorite hard rock metal bands, and I love Demon Hunter too. They're really good. So anyway, Matthew and they do a podcast together. They're not on their podcast is like maybe every other month kind of thing, so it's not on that often. But Matthew is also a songwriter and producer. Pacific Records, he's the manager of that. Also, he is in a band called Pacifico. Go check out their music on Spotify. I love the latest Pacifico album. Check out his music. It is really good. It's very different. Him and Aaron both produce really cool sort of indie music that I don't normally listen to, but I have really come to really love both of their work. So Matthew has been involved in several projects, and so it'll be fascinating to talk to him about things that have been involved with. He's been involved with movies. Again, he's done his music has been featured in like Wish for Christmas and different TV shows. A show called Now What, and Sausage Factory was another one that was involved with. TV shows, video games, Rock Band Download, and he was also was part of a music video. It's played on MTV back in the day, back when MTV did music videos, and back in the old days. So he has been involved with several projects, and looking forward to, again, something way out of left field, but been talking with Matt. Been really excited about it. I don't know. I've got to see if he's willing to maybe do some music for us, play a little guitar for us. There's a song that Aaron just put out recently. It's a very geocaching adjacent song, and I'm thinking I might try to get him to do the acoustic for it. But the words, if you read the words to 40 Years, it's very much the compass and searching, and kind of has that geocaching vibe to it. So anyway, something way out of left field. All right. And then to wrap up the Podcast to Hope 7th annual, we're going to have on the boys.
Don't you call them the Three Stooges?
I call them, no, I'll let you call them that. The Coins for Kids crew, Neil, Jason, and Craig. I saw Craig was in the chat room. I don't know if he's still there at the moment, but if you're there, shout back again to us there, Craig. But Coins for Kids, and this year they are doing coins. They're actually doing coins, not just collecting coins for kids. They did coins this year.
They look good.
I got a set here to show you. So there's, let me solo here for a second. Solo layout. So there's Craig's. You see my shells. Yep. So there's his coin. I've got the dual coin of Neil Moore and Bob Billy. They went together, the redneck geocacher. And so Cache Tales with Neil Moore and Bob Billy. And they have reading on the sides of them. I don't know if I can get to focus.
It's like grooved.
Yeah, and
like
they have
coin.
Hellmeisters. Yeah, so the weird part about these is that they have, not weird, but like if you look at a quarter, how it has what they call reading. Let me see if I can get to focus. That's always tricky with cameras. You get the idea.
There it is.
You can do it. Come on.
There it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can kind of see it.
Come on. You can do it. Oh, well, we'll move on. My camera's not wanting to cooperate tonight. That's okay. Because it's out on an angle. Anyway, yes, a Motley Crue for sure. That's very, very true. Lanisa, that's but you can get these 3 coins if you go to coinsforkids.geocachetalk.com. You can pick up your own set, and so they're available. They're $20 a piece, or you can get 3 for not 60. You can get 3 for 50. So the proceeds for the sale of these coins is going to that hour. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to tally it up, and for the sales for that hour, and then we're going to make a giant donation that hour, and hopefully that'll put us over the top. So we've sold several sets. I've still got several sets left, so we need to sell these. So buy a set, buy an extra set, and give them away, or use them. Yeah, or as Tom says sometimes, buy a set, and if you go to an event, you could do it as a giveaway or anything like that. So that's really cool that the guys put that together. And again, the proceeds are going to go to St. Jude. So really excited about that.
It'll be interesting to see how much money will come in for Coins for Kids in general, because this year was the biggest push to get other people to collect their change that they find in caches. Is there going to be are we going to try to get information to see who actually did Coins for Kids, to see how much actually came in from that?
That would be cool.
Is there not a way to do that? I don't know if it would be interesting for somebody to tally that up, even if it's in the chat. Like, I found $20, so I'm giving 40, or to just know how that campaign went, because that was all year long. I saw it on t-shirts all year. I saw it at events. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw Neil got a big jar from a friend recently. Neil says we can check the Facebook page. They've been kind of checking those, and so use Texas Dave Coins for Kids leaderboard. That's kind of funny.
There you go.
You're right, Josh. Several people have been putting together their coins, collecting it from others. I know Jason's been and Craig. Everybody's been collecting coins from other people who have here's my big bag of coins. That I want to give to St. Jude. So very exciting, and that should put us hopefully again over the top. So, in case you're wondering,
what is the goal? Oh, wow!
So that's what we've raised over 6 years. We've raised $31,446.50 over the past 6 years. We started slow, and we've built momentum for sure. So, if you'd like to give, we've already had some people give already. podcasttohope.com. Go to that website, and it'll take you to the current campaign. Pardon me. We've already been we've already raised some people have already given, which is really cool. I think we're up to $120 of the 12,000. So we're on the road. We're on the way. So let's see.
Is this the highest goal that you've ever had for a podcast of hope?
Yes.
All right, let's go.
It's our largest. Yeah, we're at 120 right now. So thank you for those that have given. We'll be doing the same thing we've done in the past, which is if you give a certain hour, each hour there'll be giveaways. Cool. I'm already starting to line up some people that want to give prizes. So thank you to all the people that will be providing prizes. I have an anonymous person who I got to see in San Antonio when I was at CoinFest.
You're not going to be anonymous if you tell me where you talked to him.
No, I didn't. I talked to a lot of people down there. They're not going to be able to. Nobody can guess. Nobody will be able to guess. But I got to talk to her, and every year she wants to give a prize pack, and I think it's just awesome that she's committed. Scrabble Hounds has done it as well. She's not the anonymous person, obviously. We've had several people. Owen in London, he gave a bunch of 3D printed last year. We've had a lot of people who have given prizes over the years, and I want to be able to thank them, not only the donors, but we don't want to forget the folks who have just donated items, that cost them something, but it's free for us to. So,
people are so generous. Last year, and this isn't to toot my own horn because I just put them on eBay, but I put 2 purple Geo Challenge coins, and they each went for $400 a piece.
So awesome!
That's an expensive Geo coin.
Yes. That is awesome.
I think we're blown away every year, and it goes up every year of the generosity of geocachers. This one time during the year when we're raising money for St. Jude, and we play all year long, and the only time we ever get kind of serious, even though we have fun. I mean, we have a literal variety show coming up, right? I mean, with magicians and during this time, geocachers every year they surpass what they did the previous year, and they're giving towards something that you're not buying prizes. We don't keep any of this. None of this is truly for geocaching other than just spreading goodwill, from geocachers. And it's not any small amount. I mean, St. Jude, it was a huge organization, has recognized the fact that geocachers are giving money and helping them out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we have been part of, and thank you, Neil. Neil's going to be giving away a couple of his coins. So that's really awesome. So as we start to wrap up tonight, I do want to mention that we've been part of this branch of the fundraising with St. Jude. They started very recently. It's the Play Live fundraising arm. And the reason why it's called Play Live is we're kind of the live part. We're the podcasters. There are folks that do gaming that are involved, which is really cool that we've got, because I think for the most part, you're going to find that they are of the younger crowd for the most part. I know I'm kind of maybe generalizing to an extent, but I think
kind of like us. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like
no, not
Are you
us.
saying we're not young and hip, Gary? Is that what you're saying?
You're just saying they're kind of similar to us, right?
Yeah.
No, they're younger than us, Josh.
Oh.
These are the Twitch crowd.
Gen Z.
Gen Z's, the
25 and under, maybe.
Yeah. But they
just missed
they
the mark.
have what I think is cool though is that age has really embraced giving as well. I think about Reese and the fact that she gave her time. She went to Africa, right? For
Tanzania.
And, Tanzania, yeah. So that age is really, I think, is really a welcome sight to see that they're wanting to be involved. So much so that St. Jude created this sort of branch of their fundraising, and they have folks that do. They do the whole watch people play games, but they're integrating St. Jude in so that they're doing a fundraiser during one of their gaming things. And so they're providing that as an option for some folks. So yeah. Hey, I was a massive gamer back in the day. And this is after Pong. I did have Pong, but
my version of Twitch growing up was standing next to high schoolers at the arcade, watching them play pole position.
Right. There you go. Ms. Pac-Man. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to actually go somewhere.
Yeah, you had to. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I ran out of money myself.
Techno Bowl. That's right. I spent many a quarter in an arcade playing Space Invaders and all the cool games back in the day. So
cool games.
All right. Cool games. All right.
Little did you know you were supporting our good friend Doug McRae.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Now we're friends.
Yes. So let's give some final thoughts and we'll wrap up. So Jesse, I'll let you go and then we'll give us your thoughts.
Yeah. So obviously St. Jude it's near and dear to us and our family, and Christy worked there, and ever since then we've tried to do anything we can to support them. So I'm very happy that I get to be a part of this, and that Geocache Talk kind of adopted them as their official charity. I know we don't do official charities, right, in geocaching, but for us, we can, and we have. Never did I think I would grow up to be part of an actual telethon, but this is kind of like the telethons you saw when we were little kids on TV. They kind of raise money, and they'd be on for like all day on PBS. Yeah. And you have all the variety stuff, and it made no sense. And there's all these kind of shows. And now we're kind of producing one of those in a backwards way in podcasting from like a really obscure hobby from the general public, and having on magicians and all this crazy stuff and improv and all the kind of geeky stuff that we kind of like anyway. We're getting to kind of use this platform to be able to do it. And again, every year, I don't know what we'll end up raising this year, but every year we've set a goal, and geocachers have stepped up and beat it every single year. Mm-hmm. And I can't be happier. If we get to leave any mark on geocaching, it's things like people coming up with coins for kids and taking time to pull together and do things for charity, in the midst of all the fun we get to have. So if nothing else comes out of this years to come from now, the fact that we've already raised over $30,000 for St. Jude, I'm happy with that already.
Yeah.
And I know we're not done. So
yeah. No, very true. So Lenny said, all the hosts need to wear tuxedos. No, that's the answer to that.
We won't be wearing tuxedos, and we won't be answering our phones.
No,
like a telephone.
Exactly.
The big phone. Oh no, there was this phone back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. She forgets that we sit here for 8 straight hours. So we've got to be as comfortable as we possibly can, because there's no stopping. I know Jesse he'll get up in the middle of it. A lot of times I don't don't drink anything in the afternoon because I'm going to sit here for 8 straight hours and I'm not going to move. I'm going to sit here and podcast for 8 straight hours.
Maybe we can get those tuxedo pajamas. Those might work.
Yeah. So Jeff is right. No bathroom breaks. So we don't. Sometimes we do. We build in the schedule's built such a way that from the 55 to the top of the hour is sort of a transitional point to the next show. So we do have a little bit of leeway in there, but yeah, I do. I go dehydration. Yep. I go the dehydration route just so I can get through the time. But all right, let me say something real quick, and then Joshua, I'm gonna let you wrap up the night.
Great.
So yeah, it's near and dear to my heart. I think about Podcast to Hope all year, and I work diligently to try to come up with something that's a little bit unusual, a little bit different. And again, I shoot for the stars, and sometimes we hit. We got Mike Rowe. Jim O'Hare was sort of a real shot in the dark, and Jim joined us for a while. Parks and Rec, if you're wondering who I'm talking about. We had on last year, we had Richard Garriott, the astronaut, and Mike Dubno. Richard, he's been to the space station. He's been to the North Pole, the South Pole, and he's been to the Mariana Trench, been to the bottom of the ocean. So he's done something nobody in the world has ever done. And that is cool that we were able to have Richard on, who's a geocacher. And it's just incredible that we were able to get him on last year. So again, we're excited. We are really looking forward to another great year to raise money for St. Jude. I'll have some more videos that we'll be able to show to provide more. And this year we have our first time. We're going to have one of our St. Jude employees. This is really going to be cool. So yeah. And the Portal Prov, so many of the hours are, I can go through them all again. I'm not going to, but they're great. And I think that they're really, it's going to be a really fun night. So Joshua.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to the audio listeners because I am an audio listener. I don't always watch Geocache Talk live.
That's true.
And I listen to it later in that week in my car. And I just want to challenge all the audio listeners. Join us live for just, if there's any week to join us live, it would be the week of Podcast of Hope. And if you're like, Josh, that's just not how I consume content, go to podcastofhope.com. If you enjoy Geocache Talk throughout the year, go to podcastofhope.com and donate ahead of time. Because Gary, it is true, works. I know he talks about it all year. He works really hard to curate just an awesome evening. And just think about it. You're going to get, and I'm looking forward to this, you're going to get 8 hours of audio content. Just, do you know how much commuting time that is for me? For me, yes. That's 16 trips to my work, for my work and back. So
yeah, that's really cool.
So I just want, because a lot of people consume this show just listening to the audio, and I don't want those people to miss.
Yes.
If they're not the live people. So if you're not going to watch it live, please go and make a donation. This is a very important goal of the Geocache Talk Network. Yeah. And that's my final word.
Podcastofhope.com. Audio listeners we love you guys so much. We don't get to hear from them as often. We have international. If you're, even if you're not in the States, please help us. I know I do have a video I'm going to be showing during Podcast of Hope that talks about what they're doing internationally, which is exciting. So, they're a global charity that is making a global impact on childhood cancer. So podcastofhope.com, please go out and you can give. Again, it's open, it's available now. You can go out and do that. And as Tom says, it's going to be great. And we will then wrap up for the nights, and we'll say good night to everybody. And we'll see you guys on the next Geocache Talk. And we'll definitely see you December 3rd, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time to midnight. And yep, eight hours, Tom.
8 hours.
Eight straight hours, my friend. So there you go. So again, thanks everybody. Good night. We'll see you next time. Good night.